Back with us now, Lieutenant Christopher Olivarez of the Texas Department of Public Safety. Lieutenant, it's great to have you back on. Okay, you guys caught illegal aliens trespassing and trying to break across the border on ranches, and so you're seeing it now. They're in camouflage. We're showing the photos now. The next photo you're going to see is they had carpet glued to the bottom of their shoes. Why?
Well, good evening, Liz, and great to be with you. So this is all part of Operation Lone Star, Governor Greg Abbott's border initiative that we launched back in March 4th of 2021. And right now what we're doing, we're providing state assets to patrol private ranches. And what you're seeing right there in those photos are some of those illegal immigrants that are coming across these private ranches, trespassing on these private ranches. And what you're seeing is they're using carpet to glue to their shoes in order to disguise their shoe tracks. So these are not your typical asylum seekers. These are individuals that are avoiding detection, avoiding law enforcement. And that's what we're seeing right now by using those kind of tactics, especially with the camouflage clothing. These are not your typical asylum seekers. These are individuals that want to get away. And again, some of these individuals do have criminal histories that we've come into contact with.
Okay, so this is what you're up against, right? I mean, you know, the $1.5 trillion spending bill the president signed last week, or this week rather, more than $20 billion in Green New Deal spending, but it cut border funding by nearly $500 million. I mean, that's what's going on. So this is what you're up against. And now we've got, you know, basically the White House or the administration arrested nearly 50% fewer convicted criminal illegal aliens, 63% fewer deportations of convicted criminal illegal aliens. And Lieutenant, we basically have drugs, violent gangs, and guns pouring across the border and into our inner cities. So how do you square all of that with the funding cut for the border?
Well, it's very challenging. It not only affects us as a state agency, but it most importantly affects U.S. Border Patrol, the federal agency as well, because that is their primary supporter is the federal government. As you can see right there, and as you know, as you just reported, they're cutting border security funding, which is needed right now. Right now, at this time right now, we have the most unsecured border that we have seen in decades. And we're talking about mass migration, the number of illegal immigrants that are coming across, single adults, criminals that are coming across, and most importantly, the drugs, fentanyl that's pouring in through the ports of entry. We have seized, just on the state side, over 1,200 pounds of fentanyl. That's over 280 million lethal doses that we've been able to take off the streets and save lives. But that just goes to show you the situation and the current crisis that we're dealing with right now. And one thing that I want to put into context for you, and just for the viewers as well, to know what we're dealing with and what we're going to face for 2022. Last year, for fiscal year 2021, between the months of February through October, there were over 397,000 encounters. Now, this year alone, fiscal year 2022, same time frame, 5 months, from October through February, over 837,000 encounters. That goes to show you that what we thought last year was complete chaos, this year is going to be catastrophic. These numbers are going to surpass last year's numbers, and we need to brace ourselves.
Wow.
But I'm telling you right now, and the viewers as well, this is a very national security threat, not only to the state of Texas, but to the entire country.
So it's more than doubling practically every year okay. So, but now we've got the White House pushing to end Trump's border policy, Title 42. That's a pandemic policy. And now estimates are 170,000 illegal border crossers are headed this way. And that's going to set the stage for even possibly worse border crisis. Talk that the White House is setting up a war room to handle it. And the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, he doesn't want to revisit the headlines and the images of the migrant camps under the bridge in Rio Grande. So what do you estimate coming, sir? I mean, Border Patrol is more than swamped.
Right. Well, and they are. And the numbers I just shared with you goes to show you that this year is going to be catastrophic. It's going to be surpassed last year's numbers. And that goes to show you that there's no plan or strategy from the federal government or even intentions to take care of the current border situation and to protect Americans from what's taking place right now. When they're cutting funding, you're cutting essential funding for Border Patrol agents, technology, resources, infrastructure that can be used to help combat this current border crisis. But again, the state of Texas having to lead the charge in this current crisis. And that's why Governor Greg Abbott launched all these initiatives, especially now with launching National Guard and deploying National Guard at the border. But again, there's only so much that we can do on the state side. The federal government, it is their responsibility to safeguard the border and to safeguard Americans. And that's where now it's not being done right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Pew and Gallup found Americans care more about border security than climate change. Right. So that's what's going on as well, too, sir. We really appreciate you coming in and talking to us, Lieutenant Christopher Olivarez.